Hello everyone, welcome to the Daytona International Speedway here in Daytona Beach, Florida for the GoPro Duels 2 15-lap qualifiers for the season opening race, the Valvoline 200. It's season number 6 for the NSDCA Mountain Dew Custom Series. We've got some new faces, new competitors, and some old faces, old competitors here ready to battle it out to try and set the Valvoline 200 grid. Before we get going here in the GoPro Duels, I will go over the rules for the duels, see how you can follow along, see who makes it, see who won't. The front row from pole qualifying the other day is locked in, so that will be the pole sitter from each of these duels. Kev Shearer here in Duel 1, and Jeffrey Finguy, the 79, in Duel 2. Outside of that, it would be the next highest 14 cars, usually the top 15, because obviously, Shearer and Finguy have faster cars, so they should remain in the top 15 of each of their duels, but you never know. So it might be the top 14 or the top 15, but all those competitors will be locked in, so that's 30 cars. After that, you have this next 6 fastest times, so locked in from that alone here in Duel 1 would be Brad Stover, Daniel Kobza, and Mikey Yamakaze there, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And Duel 2, that would be Colton Lane, Anderson Reed, and James Ellison. After that, it would be the next 3 highest on owners' points. Overall, that would just be the 13, 35, and 9 cars, respectively. The 67 is 4th in line if Colton Lane in the 19 here in Duel number 1 races his way in. But we are pretty much ready to get these engines fired up for the first time here in season number 6 of MDCS series competition. Let's get rolling.
Drivers, start your engines.
The field of 23 will fire up and roll off the pit lane for their pace lap here around the Daytona International Speedway. Looks like everybody rolling off A-OK. New banners on these cars you see just above the windshields. If I could get the... There we go. A little bit rusty, but yeah, starting lineup should be on your screen just about now. We got new banners on these windshields. They now say Mountain Dew on them. Oh, what else can we talk about? Obviously, Kev Shearer, your pole sitter, making his full-time return to the NSDCA for his first full season ever, actually, because season 2 he was part-time. Season 3 they thought he was going to be part-time, but he had a he fell out with team owner Zachary Fitzwater in the 95 car, kind of stepped away for a year or so, and came back last year on a part-time basis, but outside of that, is the camera even going to change? Oh, there it is. A little bit rusty in the commentary, you know how it is, but Kyle Corbett, you see him there starting at the back. He had a pretty good qualifying time, but coming across the line at his final lap, something snapped in that car, had a hard hit to the outside wall, spun back into the inside wall and then the outside wall again, so he about hit everything there is to hit on the tri-oval, but he's A-OK, climbed out of the car all right. And they've got the backup for RER out as well. Vince Freeze also hit the wall on his standalone qualifying lap. That's why he's starting back there in the number 27. And there is Colton Lane trying to race his way in. But if he can't, he's got the past champion's provisional because he is the defending champion. But 15 laps await us here. It's going to be Shade Burkhart Racing's Toyota of Kev Shearer and the Ford Fusion for Zachary Racing, Brad Stover. The Pontiac pace car going to make the hard left-hand turn here. GoPro Duel number 1 getting set to go green. Shearer leading them down. We're going to be on the gas for season number 6 here in the Mountain Dew Custom Series. Fanning out already. Scott Roush looking to the inside. He's got Roger Ray behind him. Ray now driving for Cyclone in the 62 as he moves up to the Truck Series. But looks like they're keeping together. The Anj Auto boys keeping together. That is Kobza and Delgado working right to the back bumper of Shearer as Yamakaze is not there on the inside to help. his manufacturer teammate in Shearer. But looks like Delgado thinks better of going with his teammate. He's fanning out, looking to the bottom, but he's got no help. The draft punching a big air into the car. He's going to slip back into the clutches of Bobo Jones as Matt Sladek, another SBR driver, works right behind the 42. Scott Roush trying to force 4 wide early. I don't know about that. 4 wide's a little tight here at Daytona. Might not work, but he's going to back off. Let Sladek back down in line. That's a smart move, but I could see that later in the race with some of those guys down the field who need those owner's points. Somebody like that 62, that 29, that 08, right there on the cusp. They don't know what's going to happen in Duel 2. They still got to race aggressively. Sheer led lap 1 at the line. Here comes Daniel Kobza. He's going to clear as Sladek works to the inside as Stover pushing down to the middle. That's going to be 4 wide there. This might not work. Going to be sketchy. Kobza trying to block everybody off. Sladek's got Roush and Duncan the Ditech boys pushing behind him. They're 4 wide, and there's no escaping this anytime soon. They're going to have to hope they can keep it off one another. Shear's lifting as much as he can. They're going to get it down. Shear really dragged the brake there on the high side. Not a lot of rubber here on the track yet because the other series haven't had their duels yet. We've got 2 more series with the Sundraft Cup series coming in this season, but not a lot of rubber on this track. This is a big track, so we'll have a lot of rubber down, so this outside groove may not have a lot of grip in it. Now, as they sort it out, we've got Toyotas, 4 of them on the inside right behind that 44. It's Sladek, Roush, Duncan, and Turner. All 3 of Ditech and 1 of the SBR cars. As Vince Freeze, Kyle Corbett trying to get up here. We're going to move the ticker down so you can watch 15th. It's probably going to be the transfer spot unless Kev really falls through. These guys back here, they're going to have to rely on times or something to try and make the show. Right, that time at the line, that was Christian Vargas, but it looks like Kyle Corbett, Vince Freeze pushing up into the field now. Coming across the line, yeah, Vince Freeze holds down 15, so they are side by side, 3 wide almost for the transfer spot. Now Stover used the top. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it does have some speed, as Brad Stover looked like he had a run from Kev Shearer and Yamakaze and all of them back there, pushing the Energizer Ford back out. New look for the 87 team. They're 4th sponsor in 4 years, I want to say, running that car at Zachary Racing. But a new driver, Alex Peters, now just sticking to full-time in the CRTS. He did double duty last season. As Shearer with a big run. Look at this, the fastest car on pole day. Looking to the inside of Stover and Cubs. It doesn't need any help if he can pull this move off. What kind of run does the top side get side by side to the line? Who's going to lead the lap? Looks like it's going to be Brad Stover in the 87. Shear's trying to do this without help. That just shows you how strong this car is. I think it should be the equipment to some extent that Colt Lane had last season, obviously with Toyota bodywork in it, but Toyota motors in it as well. But some of that equipment carrying over from the now defunct Mid-South Automotive team. So looks like Shear's help, though, waning. Going to drop back. Here comes Kobza with an elevator move, looking to the inside of Stover, trying to take the lead back here in Duel 1. By side, Duncan, 4 wide there, here in the middle. Going to be careful off the corner. Roush pushing up a little bit. I think they're going to get it down. Should get it down. Roush just needs to step on the gas a little bit. Get clear of Sladek. And Duncan lets him back in. We're clear. Now Kobza back in control here at the duel. Vargas has been like 15th all race long, side by side there with the 17. Now Corbett currently, he might have to rely on that qualifying time because he did set a lap, so he does have qualifying to fall back on. Roger Ray, looks like Mac Johnson there in the 03 falling back as well. Archibald Buttersworth in the 8, not a lot of speed in these slow cars. Dale Cole Jr. That would be the 25 of Cody Goforth. The Mercedes, of all things, of Dwayne Rockefeller. Oh, crash! They wrecked! Cordell Smith, Dale Cole Jr. heavy damage. That's going to bring out the caution here. And racing back, Kev Shearer is going to lead at the line. But Cordell Smith, he might have to rely on those points now. Colt Lane, some of these guys race their way in. He's going to really have to rely on those points. And Dale Cole Jr. destroyed as well. That might be Daytona Speed Week's over for Extreme Racing. But Kev Shearer led them back. Let's get a replay, see what happened here in Duel 1. Slowing it down for you here. Mikey Yamakaze gets into the wall on corner entry. That's going to back up Cordell Smith and Bobo Jones here on the top side. Cordell trying to turn down to get off the 0-1. Just gets loose. Nowhere for Bobo Jones to go. He gets into the back of the 67, turns him around. Cordell locking the brakes, does not want to slide down into traffic. Jacob Rose as well, wowing up, trying not to hit the 67. He's trying to turn it down with Cordell trying to keep it high. But Rose just hooks it right, gets it back going, and Cordell, brakes only work so far, and a vicious hit by the 26 of Dale Cole Jr. lifts the 67 off of the ground. An airborne accident here in turns 3 and 4. Cordell, though, lands on his wheels, but that is a very, very hard lick. And yeah, they're not driving away from that one. Hopefully they are all right. Everybody else was all right. Let's take a look here coming to the line now. It was Shear getting underneath the 44 of Daniel Kobza, and it wasn't really close. Shear led that by a good margin. In real time, Cordell Smith's hopes of turning it bad luck last season around and a new look, new number for his TRD ride goes up in smoke, and a hard hit for the Texan. Brace for impact, folks, as we go on board with Cordell Smith before we take you back to the restart to end Duel 1. Oh. Jumping back in here under caution, you've got Bobo Jones without a hood. They seem to stack up when they were running back around. Jacob Rose got a little bit of damage. Dwayne Rockefeller as well. But that on the inside is the number 2 of Priya McShane. She has had the motor go under caution. A pretty big-sized failure, so heartbreak for the 2 team. They had a pretty good qualifying lap, so I think if they need that, they will be able to fall back on that, but it has not been a good start to speed weeks for Rockstar Energy Racing with Kyle Corbett riding off a car in single car qualifying, and now Priya McShane seeing her engine go. And like I said, or like I mentioned, tough luck for the driver with the sponsor of these duels, GoPro. He had to cut the hood off after getting into a stack up here under caution. But let's stay live here because we may be going green this lap. Kev Shear leads over Daniel Kobza. William Duncan's got up to 3rd now. Brad Stover in 4th. It'd be Austin Delgado in 5th. Scott Roush, Vince Freeze, Matt Sladek, Jesse Turner, and Christian Vargas now your top 10. Let's see if we do go green this lap here. And yeah, lights are out, so we are going back green. No update currently from the Infield Care Center, but hopefully we will get that at some point. Probably after the duels, honestly. But Delgado will catch up here. Let's take a look. Who is now sitting 15th? That would be the 8 team of Archibald Buttersworth. So Mac Johnson, Archibald Buttersworth seemed like they were losing the draft. They might have to fight for points or see what happened in Duel 2. But now they've got a shot if they can keep the draft, as well as Larry Hagan. But these guys back here, Rockefeller's going to be slow because he got involved into that stack up. Lane's just been slow all race. Jacob Rose might have speed, but Bobo Jones won't, especially with all that drag without a hood. Let's take a look. Who's already raced this weekend? Kobza has. He was in the Fields 100 for the Dr. Pepper Dash series. William Duncan actually drove Kobza's car in the Molson Modified series. That would be in the Troyer 75. Further on back, you have Kyle Corbett, but he announced that he was going to be running it in a lower series, but that would be at Mesa Marin, I believe. Who else? Mac Johnson attempted both the Fields 100 and the Troyer 75, missed both, but got into the Troyer 75 after a contract change down there. Oh, that's the wrong button. Cody Goforth, he attempted both as well. I think he only made one of them. I'm honestly not sure which. And yeah, that's it. So some of these guys do have experience already racing this season. And a lot of them as well will be running up either in the Crown Royal 300 or the Sundrop 500 as well here in Speed Weeks kicking off Season 6. Nevertheless, we're going to have a 5-lap shootout here. Who is going to make the Valvoline 200? Where is everyone going to start? Can Kev Shearer hold on after he took the lead back coming to the caution? Everybody making moves. Yeah, Rockefeller slow there with all that hood damage from getting into the stack up. Hopefully that can be fixed by the time we get to the actual Valvoline 200. But Shearer doesn't know who he wants to block. Does he want to block the 44? Does he want to block the 87? He's trying to block both, but I don't think it's going to work. He's going to block the bottom, as looks like Toyota doesn't know who they want to help. Duncan up there with Cobb, so they know each other. But it is Roush. Roush is going to go with his teammate. He's working with Vince Freeze, a Pontiac on the bottom. Sladek trying to find the bottom as Brad Stover says enough blocking. I want the lead back. Here comes the team that won. Well, his teammate won Talladega. James Ellison did in the 53 last time out at a super speedway here in the MDCS. Now, can Stover replicate that? Although it's not a points-paying race, it's just a duel. And how about Vince Freeze? Started in the back. Started second to last. He's all the way up to second now if he can get past Roush and Shearer. 15th remains Archibald Buttersworth. It's side by side for 14th, though. Unless Larry Hagan can get a big run, he might be out of it. He'll have to rely on either points or time. Now Shearer, a big push from the 44. Looking back to the inside of Brad Stover for the race lead. Is there 3 wide? Delgado getting aggressive there on Freeze. Almost forcing 4. He is forcing 4. Is Cobbs going to clear? Are they going to get together? A little bit of contact, but Cobbs had cleared Roush. They're back down to 3. Namikaze got the wall. That seems to be affecting him. He's dropping off in the draft a little bit. Now Kabza, a big run off the top. What can he do with Stover and Shearer side by side? Who led that time at the line? It was Kev Shearer. 3 wide for the race lead. Down the back straightaway, neck and neck. Stover might have a run here on the top, coming into the corner. These guys back here a little bit disorganized. That highest line is the most organized, but what can they do up there? Can they make enough of a challenge? Calling to 2 to go, 5 miles left in GoPro Duel number 1. 3 by 3 still for the lead. It's going to be Stover on the top with the advantage, I think. It's going to be close. Stover did lead at the line. Sladek trying to get to the middle to help his teammate, but Vince Freeze thinks better of it. Delgado trying to help his teammate. Daniel Cobbs there on the bottom. 3 by 3 by 3 here, the top 9, as it is a 12-card main draft. Being orderly. Here comes Corbett trying to work on the bottom as well with the Angiato car. Stover still putting the speed together on the top. He doesn't have a lot of help, though, here in 3 and 4. This might hurt him. Bottom line, pretty organized, coming to the white. Delgado getting aggressive, trying to look underneath his teammates. Can't quite get there. He's going to push him out front. He should have the lead here at the line. White flag is out in Duel 1. Corbett moved to the middle. He's sick of helping Angiato, trying to help Shearer back past. Stover still trying to fight, holding his own on the high side. The bottom line, no help. No real help anymore. Vargas is way far back. It's going to have to be down to Angiato trying to push each other to the dual win. Cobbs is clear. He's clear of Shearer and Stover. That's huge if he can block for this dual win. But Shearer's moving low, trying to get the run from Delgado. Into 3, Shearer's going to be there. Cobbs didn't defend in time. Coming through turns 3 and 4. Kev Shearer, the runoff. Does the top have anything for the 83? They're not going to get there. Kev Shearer to the line. He wins Duel 1. Side by side between the 0-3 and the 8. Monkey Yamakaze rounds out the top 15. And that is who will be in the Valvoline 200. You got Kev Shearer winning, and it's going to be Kabza, Stover, Delgado, Corbett, Turner, Vargas, Duncan, Roush, Sladek, and then Freeze, Ray, Johnson, Buttersworth, and Yamakaze. The top 30 on the inside line. Further on back, some of these guys are going to have to rely on either speed or points. You got Jacob Rose, Cody Goforth, Colton Lane, Dwayne Rockefeller, the 77, Bobo Jones, Priya McShane, Dale Cole Jr., and Cordell Smith. Cordell Smith is not locked in yet because the 13, 35, and 9 are all in duel number 2. And 19 did not race his way in, so Colton Lane should be locked in because of this. That's going to do it here from Duel 1. We'll see you in a moment for Duel number 2. We're back at Daytona for GoPro Duel number 2 here. 22 cars this time, as we had 45 on the entry list. Let's take a look, see who's locked in for this one. So Jeffrey Finguy is obviously starting on the pole. Got in through the front row. Also in qualifying times to be the 48, 39, 53, 9, 94. Just those 5. Because Priya McShane, she had an engine go in duel number 1, but where her qualifying time was quicker than the 97 of Patrick Smith, so otherwise Smith would have been locked in on speed. So yeah, Priya, although she had an engine go, she's locked in. Because of where the 13 and 35 start, they are deeper in the field. They're not locked in on qualifying time. But since the 9 of Zach Rogers is, that should, if everything in my head is correct, that should lock Cordell Smith into the field. You see Anderson Reed is starting back there in 21st. He had something go wrong. It was an engine that blew on his qualifying run. Also in the back, it'd be the 57 of Austin Johnson. He had something go wrong. I think it was mechanical as well. And Gatlin Downey in the 30, who spun. And for the last, let's get these engines fired up here for duel number 2. Another 15 laps of racing here today.
Drivers, start your engines.
Alright, so we got another 15 laps of action here. Starting lineup rolling across your screen. I got some big names in this race. That 79 car, one of the championship contenders last season. With Logan Cloud behind the wheel, but Cloud stepping out of racing completely, although this was scheduled to be Finguy anyways for this season, looking to turn his hopes around. Yo, in his return to the big series in the NSDCA, he drove in the MDCS season number 3 for Texas Star Racing as well. They've got him back now in the 48, so some pretty strong equipment there. Further on back, you see a row of Smart Motorsports cars. That includes the 02 of Alex Fletcher, defending Valvoline 200 winner, as well as you got the 13 there of Matthew Eves. He is very strong at these super speedways. There he is now in Geico colors and driving for Butcher Gatorade Motorsports. Brady Burkhart also making a return there, you see, in the 99, although he could not acquire sponsorship for this race, surprisingly. Maybe if he makes it, he'll get something on that Toyota Camry for Burkhart Morris. Another 15 laps of action here. Hopefully that will be clean. We don't see any scary accidents like we did in Duel 1. Pace car will make the hard left-hand turn here shortly for kicking off GoPro Duel number 2. It's been... duels at Daytona really haven't been that, like, chaotic, I think, in the past couple of years. I don't even remember there ever being a wrecking one outside of last one. But let's see if this one's clean or not. Jeffrey Finguy leads them down. Colt Lane is outside. We are green flag racing in Duel 2. Casey Mears popping out early back there, as we've got a lot of, as we're already seeing a separation in this pack. Like Nathan Stapleton back there, he just came out of the clash. Not up to speed really in that KAR 95. Even at the front, you got a lot of blue cars on that inside. They got 5 of them in a row, actually. They've got blue on them. And then you got that big green car, Mike Cook, and a new look for Shepard. But now Finn Guy and Yo keeping it even with Yo's teammate Zach Rogers right there behind him. Eric Monaco now in the 72 this season, getting aggressive there early, working underneath the 97. Patrick Smith, we're already 3 wide on lap 1. Move the ticker down, watch 15th as well here. Coming across the line, where is that? That would be the number 1 of Nicky Morris. So it's going to be a 15-car pack, maybe only 13 if those guys can't hold it there. Stapleton's really going to have to try hard to keep it. But now for the race lead, Ellison underneath Finn Guy. But even further down there is the 94 of Preston Emmons and the Sirius XM Charger for CFRO. Looks like middle line didn't have a lot of help. Ellison dropping back. Now it is all Preston Emmons there on the bottom, unless Finn Guy gets a massive run off the corner, but I think that's just too late. A big push from Alex Fletcher gets Emmons out to the lead, and Emmons is going to block the top side because Finn Guy does have a bit of a run. But in doing so, that's going to leave the bottom open, exactly what Alex Fletcher wanted to see. In the wall, Zach Rogers, they're going to save it. I don't think that's going to be a caution, but boy, Rogers is going to have to rely on his qualifying time to make that. Anderson Reed as well, he's held up back here. But Patrick Smith, he's going to have to rely on Q time as well. Hopefully everybody else up here that was high up in the qualifying order can stay up there and make the race on that, because Smith is last currently here in the duel, and that's really broken apart this pack. 3 wide still for the lead. Let's take a quick pause, get a replay, see what happened there between the 9 and the 97. Slowing it down, Patrick Smith just going to get to the inside here of the 9 of Zach Rogers, it looks like. Got a little bit too close to the 89 of Mike Cook, and he's going to push the 89 up into the 9. They get the outside wall. A big save out of those guys. John Dilk's lucky not to have the 89 come down, bash into him, but they keep it all together, although it's going to send them to the back of the field. Oh my goodness, we just came back. What the heck was that? Okay, Fletcher was on the apron. Something happened here off of 4. Oh, he got hooked by Eves. Oh, into Ellison and Eves. Oh, man. Way down the track. They're lucky to save that. Don't worry about the double yellow line, but oh my goodness. So they are aggressive here in Duel 2. They must have thought, although there was a wreck there in Duel 1, that might have just been a little too tame. Mike Cook last time by was 15th. Where is he at? We're going to see a battle, I think, for 15th, because it's going to be the top 11 up there, and it's going to be a big battle here behind. Oh, Finn Guy way up the track, and Yo all over the back bumper him. That could have been disaster as well. So they've sorted it down just to 2 wide. Fletcher and Eves, they're going to try and have to regroup back there, as Fletcher's got his teammate Monaco right in front of him. Back at the pack, yeah, Smith and Rogers off the pace just a little bit. Reed stuck in no man's land, but they are racing hard here. We're going to have to watch this as well for the transfer spots. See who can make it here out of that gaggle. We got 11 Car Breakaway here at the front. It's been James Ellison now out to the lead, but the Pontiacs, they've broken each other up, and now it's going to be Fletcher with Eves right behind him. We're going to might have deja vu right here with Ellison to his outside, and Eves right behind him. Fletcher's going to have to be worried there just a little bit in that driver's seat to make sure they keep it clean. But that's the 54 of Noah Kim getting a taste here of the super speedway racing. He was in the modifieds last season, running in the DPDS this season, I believe. He's up here for Johnson Performance in the 54 as well. He's running some of the 54 and some of the 57, but not a full season. 3x3 once again, and it is one of the super speedway favorites, leading it now, the 13, Matthew Eves. Taking a look back here at the transfer spot, it was at the line, the 57 of Austin Johnson. He's only running the super speedways in this car. The rest of it, he will be in the Advanced Auto Parts 54. But now Nicky Morris trying to break back in, looking to the inside. I think Morris, though, yeah, Morris would be in 15th. Yeah, Morris is 15th where he is, because then it's going to be Downey, Berghardt, Dylan Young, and Adam Mitchell right there behind him as Morris gets all way loose off the corner. I don't know what that was all about. But now at the front, James Ellison still leading. He's got a lot of strong cars on that top. He's going to push him back clear for the race lead. So GoPro Duel 2 looking a lot different than Duel 1. We did have 2 accident scares, but they kept it all together, at least not to throw out a caution. And we've got 2 really distinct packs currently. Ellison looking to control this race like he did the final laps at Talladega last season. The Vornado 150 down there is Finn Guy, aggressive there on the 94. Don't force it 4 wide. You know, better to do that in the duel. Save that for the actual race. And Finn Guy backs out. I don't think he'd be happy. I don't know who would be running that high side, all boxed in. If something goes wrong below you, you got nowhere to go other than the concrete wall to your outside. So can't really blame Finn Guy to try and get out of that racer mentality, but at the same time, gotta be patient. It's only the GoPro Duel. You know who isn't patient? Casey Mears on the bottom, looking very aggressive on Noah Kim's Pontiac. Got some small teams up here. John's Performance, although they won a race. Gatlin Downey Incorporated weren't the best team last year in the MDCS, but with their flagship driver Jose Perez behind the wheel, looking to turn that around, as well as other TRD driver John Dilks there in the 68. He's had his fair share of moments here in the NSDCA as well. Ellison continues to lead laps, running the top side, 54, though the number right above him on the entry list, right there challenging to his bottom. Gatlin Downey holding down 15th, side by side with Nathan Stapleton. It's going to be a race to the wire here. Who can make it out of the top 14 spots here in duel number 2? Some of these guys back here, they might not have owner's points. Mike Cook definitely does. But you got guys like Adam Mitchell, Brady Berghardt. They have no owner's points. So that could really hurt him, because if some of those guys at the tail end of Duel 1 had points, you know, they might be in as well. At the front, Mears trying to block down the run by Perez. Noah Kim really pushing up into the 13, intimidating him, trying to intimidate the man nicknamed Shade. I don't know if he can do that, but he's trying his best as Ellison continues to lead on the top side. They got the 94, 79, 48 behind him. Really the strongest cars that's left up here in the duel. So it's really no surprise that the top line's getting that. But I'm really not surprised. Some of them, like Finn Guy and Yo, they haven't just dragged the brake a little bit, got back to the inside, pushed some of those slower cars back through, and challenging now. But maybe they can challenge with this, as Ellison got pushed down to the middle there. Finn Guy maybe just wanted to sort Emmons out in the 94. They were 4 wide momentarily, but Kim backed off. A smart move there. We're going to keep it together. 5 to go this time at the line. It's still all happening behind James Ellison. Finn Guy got the lead of that top side. Can they draft together to get past the 53? Eric Monaco now working with them as the bottom line really gone. It's back down to 2 wide for most of it, and Ellison blocking the bottom now. Shade Eves had to run that time. Now Matthew Eves right there behind James Ellison. What can he do? Ellison got fired from Eves' team last mid-season in the Dr. Pepper Dash Series. So Ellison might have a little bit of bad blood with that team owner from Mississippi. What can they do? Fletcher working, trying to get back his Daytona success there on the bottom. He's got Kim and Mears behind him as Eves looks for the lead underneath Ellison. What's Gatorade Motorsports? This equipment last year with Matt as well as behind the wheel barely made any races. Now, as an all-star car, what can they do? He led that time at the line. Racing good at the front, but up here, who's going to transfer? Mike Cook held down 15th that time. He's trying to block off Brady Burkhardt. Brady really needs to race his way in. I think Stapleton does as well. The only guy really safe in this pack is the 89. Honestly, everybody else, they really need to push it. Back at the front, though, racing intense in both packs. Eves losing his help on the bottom. The top line still all together, and Ellison going to have a big run here. But the bottom trying to get a little more organized. What's it going to be off the corner? Dilks trying to help the only other Toyota up here, and Eves through the Pontiac and Noah Kim. Coming down, 3 to go. Ellison back out front with a charge on the top side. Smart Motorsports working together now in the middle. If the Pontiacs can get together, if Kim could get up there as well, that could be trouble. But now, here comes the top line once again, surging ahead with James Ellison back out to control the pack. Back in the second pack, they're 3x3 up front. Brady's in. Brady's in currently, and Downey is out because Downey spun. I don't know if Downey set a lap or not. I'd have to go back. I think he spun on his out lap. I'm pretty sure Downey did not set a time. Now, Finn Guy had the run off the top. He slices down. Are the pole sitters going to win both their duels, respectively? Kev Shearer made a move like that in duel 1, and now Finn Guy just made the same thing. Can he hold it? 5 miles left. 2 more laps. Gonna have to see if he can hold it. He might be hung out just a little bit. He's gonna have to try and block the top here. Block the top sides. Bottom's not as much of a challenge. What's it going to be for Jeffrey Finn Guy? Let's go out the back bumper of the 79. Eves tried to get in front of Allison. Couldn't quite do it. He's back to the help of Smart Motorsports behind him. What can they do? Finn Guy trying his best to hold it. Coming around. It's going to be the white flag. No challenge yet for the driver out of Michigan, the 79. Back here in the second pack, they're going crazy. Adam Mitchell holding down. Adam Mitchell looking. He might put Hawaiian Punch Racing in the field. But it's the white flag lap. Finn Guy has an advantage over Eves and Ellison. Who's he going to block? He's got to block the bottom in the corners and probably the top side. Alex Fletcher, the defending Valvoline 200 winner, forcing it 3 wide. And that might be what Finn Guy wants to see or what he doesn't want to see. Can he block 3 lanes of traffic? Back to the back. How are they doing? Brady's going to try and challenge Nicky Morris. Adam Mitchell trying to get into this field. Stapleton, does he have anything for them as well? Through 3 and 4. Ellison's going to have a run on the top. What's Finn Guy going to do? Can he block the run? Going to block the run. Ellison's not going to turn it low. He's going to hold the line. Here they come. Off of 4. Jeffrey Finn Guy wins the duel. Who's going to make it? Here they come. Off of 4. Looks like it's going to be Austin Johnson, Nicky Morris, Mike Cook, and Adam Mitchell is going to come home 15th. That's going to put Adam Mitchell in the show. So close for Gatlin, Downey, Nathan Stapleton, Brady Berghardt. They're going to have to hope they can get in on qualifying time or owner's points. We're going to have to wait and see. But Jeffrey Finn Guy took home the checkers here. The dual winners will start 1-2, Shearer and Finn Guy respectively, as they were the pole sitters for these, although neither of them led the whole race. So a competitive duel to Adam Mitchell, probably the story of this duel, if not the accident between Rogers and Patrick Smith. But we are going to get back to you in a moment to show you who made the Valvoline 200. Right now, Finn Guy is going to do his little celebration lap around DIS. Alright, well, we are back here at Daytona, and this will be your starting lineup for your field of 40 for this year's Valvoline 200. Front row, Kev Shearer and Jeffrey Finn Guy. Row 2, Daniel Kobza and James Ellison. Behind them is Brad Stover and Preston Emmons. Then Austin Delgado and Matthew Eves. Kyle Corbett and Colton Yo round out the top 10. Jesse Turner and Eric Monaco, Christian Vargas and Alex Fletcher, William Duncan, Jose Perez, Scott Roush, and Noah Kim, and then the 0 of Matt Sladek and the 68 of John Dokes is your top 20. Then it is the 27 and 66, the 62 and 57, 0-3, and the 1, the 8 and the 89, 0-1, and the 60. That's your top 30. So yeah, Adam Mitchell was the final car to race in. Next is qualifying times. So you have the 39 of Anderson Reed, the 9 of Zach Rogers, the 2 of Priya McShane, the 97 of Patrick Smith, the 77 of Bobo Jones, and the 67 of Cordell Smith. Now, owner's points. The 17 of Jacob Rose, the 85 of Dylan Young, the 26 of Dale Cole Jr., and the 19 of Colton Lane. There were a lot of points because Extreme Racing, there were 48th in owners points. There was like 36th. There was a bunch of them in between that were up for sale. They weren't bought, and that's allowed. Dale Cole Jr. against all odds. I think everybody thought he was out, but nobody else bought points, so he's in. Colton Lane's going to round out the field with the past champions provisional, so going home is going to be the 25 of Cody Goforth, who, if Dale Cole Jr. didn't have points, I think he would have been next in line as the only other driver with points. Also going home is the 18 of Dwayne Rockefeller. Those were the 2 out of Duel 1, and then in Duel 3 was the 95 of Nathan Stapleton, the 99 of Brady Burkhart, and the 30 of Gatlin Downey. So that's going to do it for the GoPro Duels. Hopefully you watch the other duels, watch all the other racing going on in Speed Weeks. We'll see you back for the Valvoline 200 in a few days.